CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Johnson. Hudson Mack is off tonight. We begin with a case of copper wire gone missing, but this heist and how someone managed to pull it off will leave you scratching your head. Roughly 1 kilometer of wire, 5,000 pounds of it, was stolen from right beneath a well-populated Langford street. It's being called one of the largest and most organized copper wire thefts on Vancouver Island. CTV's Joe Perkins joins us live with the details. Joe?
BC Hydro is looking at a repair bill that could cost $75,000, and in the end, it's money that could be coming out of your pocket.
This was basically an underground job.
Basically, more like literally. The BC Hydro box along Langford Parkway doesn't look suspicious from afar. Even at a closer look, it's locked. But look lower, and you'll see this.
Certainly this couldn't have been done by one person at one time. It would have to have been probably a multiple day event.
He's not talking about the slight lift in the box. He's talking about 5,000 pounds or more than 2,200 kilograms of copper wire similar to this, stolen from underneath this manhole.
Persons have been working under the ground through manholes and gone down and accessed the wires underground.
It's a job that's left many questions unanswered. When did the theft begin? And most puzzling, how was it pulled off?
To detach it, not cause a power outage, and not hurt themselves. Absolutely, there's been some knowledge that these persons have had.
Now, to give you an idea of just how much copper wire was stolen, take your standard football field. If you took that wire and rolled it out down the length of a full field, you'd have wire stretching almost the entire length of 8 full football fields. In the past 3 months, copper wire thefts have cost BC Hydro $750,000. It's partly what prompted the province to impose tougher rules on scrap metal dealers. At Ellis Recycling, the heist is already water cooler gossip.
Absolutely incredible that somebody would pull that off. I don't know how they would do it in daylight, in the middle of the night.
They're questions investigators hope to answer. For now, BC Hydro will prepare to deal with its latest hit.
Well, this is a cost to BC Hydro, and as a Crown Corporation, this, of course, will ultimately has some sort of impact on our rates.
The new scrap metal legislation hasn't come into effect yet, but places such as Ellis says it already asks customers to provide identification, and it says it reports any suspicious activity.
But the one thing I can pretty much assure you, I don't see that stuff being sold at any metal recycling facility in Victoria.
It's a rash of related thefts that have raised the level of concern on Vancouver Island. It means cashing in for what police believe was days of work will be harder than it used to. And as the investigation begins, BC Hydro begins its repairs, replacing roughly a kilometer of wire that has everyone looking mostly for answers. So the big question is, how much could someone get for that much scrap metal? Well, the guys at Ellis say it would probably be around $12,000, but there are reports that it's more like $35,000. RCMP are now reaching out to anyone who was in the Langford Parkway area in the last week and saw anything suspicious. If you did see something out of the ordinary, you're asked to call the number at the bottom of the screen. That's West Shore RCMP. Incidentally, Andrew, I should also point out that Ellis's wanted us to mention that they do have a working security system.
Well, we can't blame them for wanting to make sure no one else gets any big ideas, can we?
No, we can't.
Thanks, Joe.